morning everyone, welcome back to the Shadow Clan Den. This is ShadowRaven, and today I am doing my top 10 current favorite songs. Now when I say current, I mean these are the ones that I currently like, not necessarily whether or not they're current in the overall timeline. My favorite songs change frequently, so this list is surprisingly even in existence at this moment. My favorite songs constantly change. Sometimes it might be on there for a week, sometimes it could be on there for a couple of years. This list is based on primarily how much I like them right now, how long I have liked them, and why. I guess that's just kind of a default, that's always on there. But let's get started. Number 10 is The Highwayman by Lorena McKennitt. Now, I kind of sort of grew up with the Book of Secrets in our, I kind of grew up with the Book of Secrets in our house. The Highwayman was always my favorite song on that album. I mean, the entire album is great, but The Highwayman is always my favorite song because I like songs that tell a story. And even though this one is a 10-minute long song, the story in the song is worth it to listen to it for the entire time. Plus, Lorena McKennitt, she's got a beautiful voice. And she's Irish-inspired, 95% Irish. My grandmother is full-blood Irish, third generation. So for me, there's also a little bit of heritage pride with this one. Even though she's Canadian, she does a lot of her music from the Emerald Isles. And I absolutely love that. I really appreciate it. And The Highwayman is still, by far, probably one of my favorite Lorena McKennitt songs anyway. But for me, the main reason that this one's on the list is because I've loved this one this is one of those few that I have loved pretty much consistently over the course of several years. It's also one of my mom's songs. She was actually the one that introduced this one to me, and she still listens to it to this day, as far as I know. So that one, for this one, kind of is made the list almost purely by longevity alone. But it is a fabulous song. Number 9 is Rich Kids by New Medicine. Now, the reason I really like this one is because the very first time I heard this song was when I saw New Medicine live. They're a great band to watch live. They're really interactive, a lot of fun, really energetic. This particular song, in a way, it could be a little bit offensive, at least, especially towards, as the title says, rich kids who are supposedly born into money. And I kind of like it simply because, in a sense, because I was not born into money. Money has never been something that I've had a lot of. So for me, I actually kind of understand, and I understand this song. I know where they're coming from, and in a way, I kind of feel the way they talk about rich kids in this song, I understand it. And I actually kind of feel the same way. So that one I connect with. It's because it's kind of talking about, it's from the perspective of people that have little to no money, from basically low middle income and down to that 1%. And I kind of like the perspective on it. It's a really upbeat song. It was so much fun to watch it live. I will say that. That was actually the reason I got that song, is because that I saw it live first. Freaking amazing. I still love it. But it's, as I said, it's potentially offensive to, people to kids and teens and such that were born into money, so they don't know what it's like to live down on the bottom. But for the rest of us, if you listen to it and you'll understand it, you will totally get it, and you might even agree with a good portion of what they say in the song. Number 8 is Let Me Be Your Armor by Assemblage 23. Now this one I think I've been listening to since 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. This one's another one that's kind of made it on the list by longevity, but I love songs that have a hella twist in them. This one, Let Me Be Your Armor, it had the first and second verses, you're loving it, you're thinking, oh, this is such a sweet song. That third verse will get you. The first time you hear that song, that third verse it'll just be, it's almost like you would have almost kind of a backlash effect. It's just like, what? It's insane. It is an insane twist. And it just takes it takes those first two verses, which sounded so wonderful, and it just turns it on its head, and it is such a wild 180 flip. It is, oh man, I still can't get over that. I still can't get over that twist, but I love it, and that is, because of that's actually one of the reasons that Let Me Be Your Armor became one of my favorite songs, was simply for that holy crud, what the heck just happened moment. And it's fabulous. It is absolutely fabulous. Number 7 is Me by Asp. A-S-P, because sometimes for some reason people think I say something else. I guess I'm not very good at my pronunciation on this particular name. But Me is this kind of first off, to really understand the song, go to YouTube, find the video. There's this cute little gothic themed video for this song, and it's really kind of cute, and it's one of those dark songs. It's really kind of adorable, kind of cute, has some tragedy in it, and the end, once again, just like Let Me Be Your Armor, it's kind of got that crazy twist that's revealed at the end, and you're just like, wow, I never would have expected that. As I said, I love my songs with their little twists, and Me definitely has one at the end, at least in the video. The song itself, not so much, but when you watch the video with the song, it makes sense, and you're just kind of like, whoa. But the song itself, is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the lyrics are obviously dark, but the music, it's beautiful. It's definitely one of my favorites, and I think I've been listening to that one for 3-4 years, give or take. I am not sure. I actually don't remember. I'm horrible about that, I guess. Now, number 6 is Lucifer by Bluten Angel. Now, this particular band, I actually started looking into them after they did a cover of Cry Little Sister. And the first song I heard after that, that's because I was looking around after I watched Cry Little Sister. And so I decided to look around, look the band up a little bit, and one of the highest recommended songs from what I could find was Lucifer. So I went around, I found it, I checked it out, and holy crap, I fell in love with that song way too fast. I mean, for me, part of it is because the background of, I guess, the female character that they're singing about, a lot of what she went through in the song, I can relate to. This song made it on here simply for relatability, because I can relate to the character they're singing about a little too well, considering the name of the song. I relate to her very much. And there's a couple things here and there that obviously don't match, but for the most part, I understand her, because I have walked in her shoes. So that one, yeah, Lucifer, it is a fabulous song, beautiful song. There is obviously some of the lyrics in there. When you look at the name of the title, you probably already know what the song is about. There is one phrase in there that I cannot say. I can say the first part of it, I can say the second part of it, I cannot say them together. And I'm not going to say these lyrics because I will say this song has the potential to be offensive due to this one line, so I will not say it. But overall, it is a fabulous song. I absolutely love it, and it is actually ShadowRaven's favorite Bluten Angel song, which that surprised the heck out of me. I thought he would have hated it just because. No, he actually likes this one. I was very surprised. Number 5 is Shadows of the Night by DJ Bobo. Now, this one, I love this one just because of going back on YouTube quite a few years. I found this is back when I was in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Fangirl phase. I found a Yami no Bakura video to Shadows of the Night. That is why I fell in love with the song, was just because of that video, because it fits him so well. But now, I don't even know if that video still exists anymore, which really sucks, because I loved it. But I still love that song to this day. I actually had the lyrics of the song memorized within 3 or 4 days in my keyboarding class in high school. I would just, after everything's done, you had free time until the class was over. I would end up opening 5 or 6 documents and just typing song lyrics purely from memory. Shadows of the Night was always one of those. I even did a demonstrative speech in high school on this song, where I actually sang the first part of the song. I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna do it. I cannot sing. I used to be able to sing really well. Now, not so much. I've gone years without the vocal training that I really need. So I sing for fun, not professionally by any means, because I can't, no, I'm not that good. But Shadows of the Night is one of those songs that I fell in love with in high school, and I still love it to this day. It's because it's a dark song. It's one of those songs that it's dark, it's not, and considering how bouncy and upbeat the tune is, the actual song itself is kind of dark. And I love my dark music. What can I say? I love the songs that sing about things that are dark and demented and, you know, somewhat twisted. I love that kind of music, then this one made it because it follows that theme. Even though the music is really up, and for me, the music can be really upbeat and the lyrics can be really dark, and if it works, I love it. If it doesn't work, I'm probably not as fond of it. Shadows of the Night, that's one where it worked. It worked very, very, very well. And I have loved that song since my junior year of high school. That was 2004, 2005. So that one also has longevity to it. Number four wins the crown for longevity when we're really talking about on this list. Number 4 is The Legend Comes to Life, or also known as Lugia's song from Pokemon the Movie 2000. Once again, it's Pokemon 2000. Pokemon 2000, the movie 2000 is still my favorite Pokemon movie. Lugia's song is my favorite song from that movie. I also like my instrumentals. Classical music I'm alright with, but I love my instrumentals. It's just something I've always kind of been fond of. It's always one of those things that's really super relaxing, so I love instrumental music. It's probably one of the reasons I like video game music and such, just because most of it is instrumental. Lugia's song is one of those where I can still sit there and listen, and to me, the greatest thing about Lugia's song is to me that it tells for me, the way that I interpret this song is not just in the obvious Pokemon method, but I actually see 2 different stories happening at the same time with this song. To me, this song tells the story of the seasons changing from the end of winter to spring, summer, fall, and then winter at the end of the song, but at the same time it also tells the story of the course of a day. So for me, mentally, I get this image of the sun rising. At the very beginning of the song, I get this image of the sun rising over a land covered in snow, and then as it just progresses, the day begins to get longer, and things get it just basically as the day goes on, so do the seasons. So it's like all 4 seasons in one day in that song, and I absolutely love it. If someone ever manages to make a video doing that to the song, I would have to watch it. I would probably favorite and all that kind of crap with it. But that is probably one of the reasons I love this song. Plus, it is just so soothing. It's beautiful. I love the sounds of flutes, even though I can't play them. It's one of the reasons I actually want to get an ocarina so I can learn how to play it, because it's very similar to the flute, but I hear it's easier. That's a big thing for me. But I definitely had to put this one on the list. Number 3, and this one is super, super new. Technically, the album is not even out yet. It won't be out till next year. Number 3 is Emperor's New Clothes from Panic at the Disco. I loved Panic at the Disco a few years back, especially their I Write Sins Not Tragedies. That is still one of my favorite songs. That's still one of my favorite songs by them. But Emperor's New Clothes edged it out because of the classic dark theme. It is basically a story of the devil going back home and taking control of his kingdom once again. I love it. My favorite line in that whole song is, "Heroes always get remembered, but do you know legends never die?" I love that. If I like that lyric long enough, I am actually tempted to get that as a tattoo somewhere. I really, really, really like that because it is so true. That was part of the reason that this song made such a huge impact on me, was just that one line. But the song itself is really easy to remember, which is something else I really like. It is nice and dark. The video is freaking incredible. It's a very twisted video. It is right up my alley. But Emperor's New Clothes. I mean, when I first saw the title, and I was like, okay, that sounds so weird. But, you know, Panic at the Disco, it kind of fits with them. And I watched it, and I was like, this is freaking incredible. I fell in love with this song so fast, it was almost ridiculous. I mean, eventually this one might fall off the list, because, you know, it's one of, you know, once again, most of these songs have moved around quite a bit. But this one, for right now, this is definitely probably one of my obsession songs. I mean, I just really, really, really enjoy it, and I can listen to it, you know, 20 plus times in a row with no issue at all. Every single time, because I use my phone when I'm at work. I play music on my phone through the radio, because I don't like the radio. It's boring, and they play the same things. They play a lot of music I don't like. But whenever Emperor's New Clothes comes on, I always turn the volume up, and if there are no customers in the store or nearby, then the first thing I do is start dancing or being a goofball, or I will even start singing it. That happens a lot. But this is one of those where I've actually had customers, when this song comes on, I have actually had them kind of glance up, tilt their head, and I've actually seen them start kind of following the lyric, kind of following the beat to it. So I've never had anyone ask what it is, but I'm waiting for that moment. That I'm sure it'll happen eventually, because people seem to be interested in that song whenever it comes on. Number two is a good one. Number two is Somewhere by Within Temptation. Now, this one, I really love this song just because it is so beautiful. This one also has a very special meaning to me. I walked down the aisle to this song. Shadowfang and I, our wedding was very non-traditional. We had a comic book wedding, for crying out loud. And we both agreed that I've never been fond of the wedding march. I understand why it's called that, but I personally don't like it that much. And I always told myself that if I ever got married, I would not play that song. I was just hoping that whoever I planned on marrying at the time would not have an issue with it. Well, Shadowfang, gratefully, is just as unfond of that song as I am. And so I had gotten him interested in Within Temptation, and we were listening through some of the songs and such, because I wanted a Within Temptation song to walk down the aisle to. The only question was which one. Well, we started listening to Somewhere, and it clicked. That was kind of, for us, that's kind of our story. That's kind of one of the things that it just kind of made sense for both of us. So that was the one that I ended up picking. And I still love that song. I mean, it's the song that I walk down the aisle to, so it would have to make this list anyway. But it is a beautiful, beautiful song. I have, I think, 2 CDs with that song on it, plus we also have the Black Symphony DVD, which it's so much fun to watch them perform that song as well. But it's just one of those where it's soft, it's beautiful, it's almost a little sad regarding some of the lyrics. Almost, how's it go? Almost hope you're in heaven so no one can hurt your soul. It's just beautiful. I mean, it's by far, it's one of the most beautiful songs on this list that's not necessarily dark themed. Number 1. Now, this one's still fairly new, I think. This one, actually, there's an acoustic version that just recently came out of this one. Or that just came out for this one. Same person, mind you. Number 1 is Nightmare by Nate Wants to Battle. Yes, a YouTuber made this list. Nightmare. This is a song that is based on the Five Nights at Freddy's games, more specifically Five Nights at Freddy's 3. When I first heard this song, I knew nothing about Five Nights at Freddy's. I didn't know a single thing except that it was a horror game and that I did not like horror games. I still don't like horror games. But I figured, okay, so the name of the song is Nightmare. Alright, I've got to check this out, just because it was the name that really drew me. I started listening to it, and halfway through the song, not even halfway through the song, maybe a third of the way through the song, I was already freaking crying. I had tears streaming down my face for the rest of the song, because this song is freaking beautiful. Oh my god, I cried. I literally cried the first time I heard this song. It was so freaking beautiful. And this one and Lucifer have the same thing in common. I relate to them. I understand it. It makes, to me, when I first heard this song, I swore it sounded like a variation on the story of my life. And I fell in love with it for that reason alone. It's beautiful. The acoustic version is insanely gorgeous. The original version, while it's a little bit more intense, it is so, oh man, I don't even really know how to describe it. It's just freaking incredible. It is amazing. Yeah, there's not much I can say with that. I mean, it's number one, for crying out loud. I'm probably going to end up listening to that song 5 or 6 times later on today, knowing me, if not more, because I love the song. I actually have the original version and the acoustic version on my phone. I love iTunes for that reason, but I have both those versions I have both versions on my phone. I play them at work pretty consistently whenever I hear that song on my phone at work, I stop. I literally freeze, pause for a second, revel in what song is now officially playing, and then I go back to whatever I was doing. But this is one of those where I fell in love with this song from pretty much barely into the song, and I already loved it. If you have not heard it, go listen to it. Both versions are up on YouTube. Go listen to either of them. They're both freaking amazing. Well worth the listen. I strongly recommend them, and I probably will continue to do so for many, 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 many years, because that is a freaking amazing song. I would recommend all of these, but Nightmare by Nate Wants to Battle, definitely my number one pick. And that was my top 10 of my current favorite songs. Hopefully you'll leave a like and share, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff, and I shall see you again soon. Happy hunting!